Hey everybody, it's Zach the Welder here coming at you from another weekly video. Now this week I got a job shop project for you here. So this is some stainless steel that I picked up from a local company here, and I really like doing job shop work like this for two reasons. One, I don't have to buy any materials and I don't have to cut any materials up. So all I do is drive out, pick the parts up, come back here, weld it, and drop them off. So really nice for that. And the other reason is that usually with this company, the projects like that are small enough, they're going to be under the purchase order limit where basically I can just email an invoice and they pay with a credit card. So I don't have to wait, 30, 60, 90 days to get paid. Usually I get paid within a week or two. So really like jobs like this, and I hope you enjoy. So this first part here is a drip pan off of a machine that cans beer. Now this has been lasered out and then bent on a sheet metal brake to make the shape that you see there. And all I have to do is weld one of these threaded bungs on the bottom there, so you can screw a piece of pipe in there that'll run out to a drain. Now on the print here, it's not specified whether it gets welded on the inside or the outside or both. I went ahead and used no filler on the inside weld here because it's a really nice tight fit up, and on stainless steel like that you can just wash it in, especially on something like that where there's not really any strength that's needed. You just need a good seal. Now on the outside, I ended up using some 3/32 filler and putting a really light bead around the outside of that bung there. Kind of regret doing that because when you put a weld like that on sheet metal, it will shrink and cool and warp your part. So these ended up just tweaking just ever so slightly. If you set it on the table there, they were out about 1/2 an inch from being square. I was really concerned about this when I delivered them to the customer. However, they were like, oh, hey, that looks even better than our normal in-house guy can do. So it's kind of nice working with places that have pretty low standards, and it just really, again, it just gets screwed to the bottom of a machine, so it wasn't a big deal. Now I'm using a CK Flex Lock torch here, which I really like because you can rotate the head 360 degrees there. I'm running that on a Miller Dynasty 400, but I'm only running about 100 amps on the machine, and I'm only maybe like somewhere between 1/2 to 3/4 on the foot pedal. So you don't need a whole lot of amperage for a weld like this. It just, you kind of need nice control and a really nice foot pedal. Now these next parts here, I have no idea what they do or where they go, but I got a blueprint and I got some parts here. So we're going to go ahead and throw these widgets together. They're laser cut, tab and slotted, so really it made it pretty easy as far as putting them together here. The only tricky part was just making sure you got the orientation, because there's 3 slots and 3 tabs, and you could have each part reversed 180 degrees. So you kind of had to be careful and just kind of, study the blueprint there, make sure double, triple, quadruple check you get it together, because I would really not want to have to go back to the customer and say, whoops, I put these together and I put them all together wrong. There I'm just using some copper blocks that I use for a lot of stainless stuff like this to kind of hold it together and pull some heat out of that small stainless part there. Copper is awesome for that. If you look on eBay, you can usually find people that are selling, copper cutoffs like that for not a whole lot of money. I think I spent like $50 and got, like a flat rate box full of like big copper chunks like that. And for doing stainless work like this, they are super handy for, backer blocks like that, and, pulling the heat out of small parts like that. And also, you don't have to worry about, arcing off to the steel table there if you're using a nice big chunk of copper like that. So super handy. Also there, I absolutely love those Milwaukee die grinders. They are just the handiest thing for small job shop work like this. Like, you don't have to have an air compressor running in the background. You don't have to have cord or air hoses strung over your workbench, and just super handy. And here I am using, again, that CK Flex Lock torch, a FUPA 16 torch cup there, and then I think I was running about the same amperage wise as far as 70 amps or so, something like that. If you're interested in doing job shop work like this, I cannot recommend a fixture table enough. This is from a company called Stronghand Tools. I believe it's their Build Pro table, and it just makes short runs of components like this very, very quick and effective. If you're, say, bidding on a job like this, this is just awesome, because this gives you a huge advantage over somebody that does not have a table like this. Now, it is kind of expensive. I want to say between the table and the fixture package, I have, probably like close to $8,000 in this, but this let me crank out this short run of parts here, and it was very, very fast, and everything is super consistent. And you know, the customers that I do this kind of work for are always very, very happy with the finished product because everything is so consistent. So this is a good habit to get into here. Before you actually light up on the part, light up on one of those blocks of copper. There's been a couple times here where I've either forgotten to turn the argon on, or ran out of argon, and oops, you end up lighting up on the part and leaving a big nasty burnt spot on it that you got to polish out. So good habit to get into. Now here I am tacking the top of that tube, and then I'm putting another tack on the bottom, that as I weld that top seam out there, that bottom tack will prevent the tube from rotating, because that top weld's going to shrink and it'll want to pull that tube out of square. So if you just put a tack on the bottom there, that keeps that from happening. Weld out the top there, flip it over, and just do the same on the bottom. It's been unseasonably hot here in Indiana. Typically in June it's in the 70s and 80s, but the last couple days here it's been in the upper 90s, and it's been extremely unpleasant out if you're not used to that kind of heat. So it was kind of nice to just sit on my butt in the air conditioning and just kind of do a little bit of relaxing work here and make a little bit of money. And I was able to turn these around here pretty quickly for this customer, and they were super happy. If you like this kind of content, please head on over to patreon.com and look for Darlington Farm. There'll be some more videos up over there. I'm probably going to do a shop tour, and there's going to be some videos on the Cow Barn machine shop before too long here. I actually have made some progress on that one, and I'm going to take you guys along on the work on that one. Brush it while it's hot. Brush it while it's hot. I used to hear that from an old timer that I learned a lot of stainless welding tips from. And it holds pretty true. So like on welds like this, if you just hit it with that stainless hand brush while it's still hot, you don't have to put as much effort to go back and polish everything. However, I didn't do that on these. I just welded them and stuck them in a big pile on the floor. So I'm going back here with the hand brush to get into the little hard to reach spot there. And then I am using a gray Scotch-Brite wheel in that angle die grinder. And then I've got a soft bristle stainless wire wheel in that straight die grinder, and I'm just going back and knocking off the color. There was a little bit of cutting fluid and stuff on these, so it left a little bit of a brown residue. Mainly I just want these polished and nice looking when they go back to the customer here, because this is going on a machine that cans beer, and I want to say they start at $250,000. So I want these to look good when they go back to the customer here. But again, really, really like these two Milwaukee cordless die grinders. I pretty much use these, even though I have a big compressor there in the shop. And like a bunch of other pneumatic die grinders, these are quiet and you don't have to have an air hose, and they just are on all the time. So really like those guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, I hope you guys got something out of this week's video. Job shop work like this, if you can get it, is really awesome, especially if you've got a fab table like that where you can really slam the parts out. You can make a pretty good hourly rate on parts like that. Also, for cleaning up welds and stuff like that, I'll leave a link down below from my Amazon affiliate account if you're interested in those Milwaukee die grinders. And one more thing here. So, if you are interested in some airbrushing videos, I kind of airbrush stuff for fun. There's a pancake welding hood that I did a sugar skull on right there. Anyway, if you guys are interested, I might do some videos of those. If you have any other questions or anything like that, or video ideas, please leave that in the comments below. And I'm Darlington Farm. Thank you for watching.